Scoodly doo 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 doo. Sound check, Jimmy. Talking. Hold up. Talking. Maybe desktop audio? Maybe. Let's try. Oh, else. There we go. There we go. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Critical Dispatch 6. Your new favorite podcast. We're gonna do a quick sound check while we're waiting on Mr. Keller. Jacob, can you talk to me real quick? Run a sound so we can run out. That is so weird. Maybe here? Maybe desktop audio? It might be a me audio settings. Might be a me thing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There we go.
Okay, good. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live now. I was just letting everybody know so I can run a preliminary sound check.
Usual. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna share the live on Facebook and I'm gonna come back.
All right. Spread far, spread wide. That is maybe because what we had was pretty cool. Include director, force money adieu. I am speaking. Because what we had. Okay. Audio is coming through fine there. But yeah, welcome to Critical Dispatch 6, folks.
I'm back. You can still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you just fine.
All right. So, I need to make a correction about historical facts. About a statement I made in our last video, and because we're having a labor guy on, it's perfectly appropriate that this be the opening subject. But I said mistakenly in the last live stream, so-called right to work amendment was put in the Constitution in the 1950s. That's not true. It was passed as a statute from the legislature in the 1950s. it was passed as a state constitutional amendment in 2016. But that doesn't take away from my point. However, it's just a small correction of facts, and in fact, that adds to my point about just how dumb our Constitution and our system is in Alabama. That you can just easily add something to the Constitution that's not only bad policy, right, and limits what private employers and workers unions can do, but is also like completely unnecessary because right, think about it, from 1953 to 2016, that right to work law saying you can't have everyone at a union shop collect union dues or join the union had stood strong with neither like Democratic legislatures nor Republican legislatures succeeding in repealing it. And by that point, it was strongly in the hands of anti-union Republicans. So it's just a completely unnecessary amendment. You know what I mean, Adam?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am just sorry. I'm just monitoring the technical side. We are seemingly all systems green.
Yeah, I tried to message your call, Adam. I don't know what's going on his end. Is he trying to get in yet?
To my knowledge, I'm looking at the room. I'm looking at the chat room that we're in right now, and as far as I can see, no.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is our stream. We can. I'm sure he has a perfectly understandable reason he's not here yet. But regardless, we're capable of streaming on our own until and if he joins us. But yeah, we're hoping to. Let me just keep going about right to work laws, right? Like my solution at this point is honestly a solution to a lot of things. Because I'm a fairly progressive Democrat. I'm a little iffy on certain things, right? Like it's actually a mainstream Democratic idea these days that Congress should be allowed to use taxpayer money for abortion. I don't agree with that. I understand abortion laws and regulations can get messy, but it's I just don't, because I think abortion is wrong personally. At the very least, I don't want state or federal taxpayer money to be used for abortion. Right. So I'm not a perfect progressive on everything. However, I'm fairly progressive on things like workers' rights, on things like climate change, everything else. So because Alabama does not respect workers' rights or local home rule or even the rights of labor-friendly employers on the issue of unions, I don't respect this right-wing, legislature's stand. If Republicans want to end the filibuster when they're in control, it's a threat to democracy. If Democrats want to do it when they're in control, it's all good. It's exactly what we need. Unironically,
Precisely.
because what they want to do with ending the filibuster is to take away your voting rights. And what we want to do with ending the filibuster is protect your workers' rights and do like green energy legislation. And maybe there's an argument, right, that like establishment Democrats and like conservative Democrats would find a different excuse not to get stuff done, but we won't know until we try. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we won't know. We honestly won't know until we take that leap of faith. I'm
With
just
the
pulling up a
voting
few
rights
sources.
thing in particular, I really think there's not much of a there's not much of an incentive, right? It's different from things that like objectively undercut the power of like corporations and stuff, right? There's a wasp in my room. I'm gonna have to walk around until I'm ready to confront it.
I get
This
it.
is Alabama.
Red paper wasps are. It's kind of a wild card because red paper wasps, they kind of get like they get more aggressive as time goes on, but they not like not exactly right now. It's a weird science thing.
Huh.
It's
What else do you know
actually,
about
yeah,
them?
I remember now. Red wasps in general, have this thing where over time I'm hearing myself duplicate. I just want to make sure I'm the only one hearing myself twice.
You are.
Yeah, I remember now. Okay, I'm the only one hearing myself twice. Okay, yeah. So as time goes on, wasps' food source run dry. So you'll notice they'll get a little more aggressive later on in the year, later on in the summer. That's why they're all hungry.
Yeah. So, you know, that reminds me of like the fact that we have a part-time legislature, right? And we have fairly, I don't know how it compares to other states, but certainly compared to the federal government, we have a short legislature session. I wish, right? I wish we could have a shortened session for red wasps and cockroaches, right? Like after, like imagine if we got to deal with them the same way we deal with the legislature, which is like, okay, you all are tired out and you've done all the dumb crap you can do for this year. Go home. You know.
Yeah, like you've done all you can do. Session dismissed.
Right. Signy die.
I'm just texting the group chat.
Yeah, so we don't know what's going on his end. But today we were supposed to interview Adam Keller of the Valley Labor Report and Alabama Arise. We had already had a slight schedule change just because of how busy he would be today, and he, as he said, he wears multiple hats. So we give him grace, right? We don't even necessarily assume that he forgot. He might just have something going on right now that he doesn't have the time to explain. And even if he did forget, you know, that's understandable, right? Because like he's very, very busy.
He's just a busy bee. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but fortunately, you know, as I said to Adam, we're capable of live streaming on our own.
Yeah, we're capable of carrying this show on our own. Right now, I am about to pull up the Valley Labor Report main page to to plug him real quick.
I've got an idea.
What's that?
What if while we're waiting, we react to some interviews that the Valley Labor Report has done recently?
Let's take a look. On your screen right now is the Valley Labor Report. It's the main page. Last Saturday's show, looks like we have the full episode right there.
Hey Adam, how do I change? Is there a way for me to see the same screen you're seeing, or do you need to like screen share?
Let's find out. All right. Can you see what I see?
Uh, yeah, I see your full desktop screen. Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at the Valley Labor Report. This is gonna be the This is gonna be the most recent episode. We're gonna bounce around, kind of skip around through it.
So, if I may, fun fact about their intro song. Their intro song is called "Which Side Are You On?" It's an old, um, union coal union anthem that goes back to the coal mine strikes, the coal wars in Harlan County, Kentucky. And in fact, the song specifically mentions Harlan County, Kentucky. The woman who wrote it was the wife or daughter of a coal miner who was on strike. She wrote it, and then it was made famous by other singers such as Pete Seeger. But my personal connection. So this Cold War was in the 20s, right? It was crazy, right? They had it was basically the sheriff and the coal operators taking shots at the striking workers, some of whom were like radicalized, like they were associated with like communists and stuff. To the extent that wasn't just like anti-union propaganda, you know. But think about it in the South, you know. And the but my personal connection to all this is that my grandmother, Joy Sims, I can't remember her maiden name, but she might have been Clore. I know there was a Clore in my ancestry, but she was born in Harlan County, and her father, who I'm named after, Jacob. Yeah, I think that's what it was, Jacob Clore. He was a coal miner. So I don't know what, if any, involvement he had in the Union stuff or the Cold War stuff, but it's just it's interesting that I have that kind of personal connection to that era, and by default, this song.
Yeah, that honestly is cool. That level of historical collection connection. Sorry.
Yeah, when I say as an Appalachian white guy, heritage not hate. This is what I mean.
Precisamente. Dude,
What's up?
they're Jacob and Adam too.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
I smell a lawsuit.
Well, they'd be suing us, wouldn't they? Because they were first.
True. They could sue us
But
first, but we win because we're better.
Can you hear their audio?
Yeah, let me keep playing it.
Okay, I can't hear their audio.
Okay, let me check things up. Audio settings. Should be. This is. Let me. Okay, it's capturing me. It needs to go here. Or no. The screen share. This I haven't done before, so just bear with me there. Audio output destination should be showing. It's showing me first. Hide. What I'll do for now is keep running it with captions on, and then try to figure it out.
Yeah, works for me.
So I'm going to share. I'm going to stop and start sharing it, or just focus on this screen.
Right now, this is a pre-taped episode. Appreciate you tuning in, but both Adam and I are out of town today, so we're not able to do the show live. But we wanted to bring you, still get a show for you. So we got a couple of new segments, along with some good evergreen Unions 101 stuff. A big reason that we started the show was Unions 101. Some of that today. You can leave us a voicemail at any time. The phone number is 844-899-TVLR. That is 844-899-8857. You can also leave us a written note at any time at tvlr.fm/contact. We wanted to start the show with talking about pensions in the state of Alabama. They have... Reason has just released a report about the...
So just to sum it up so far, he is talking about pensions in the state. I'm trying to figure out a way to have it come
I
through
can actually
clearly.
hear
It's
him.
just-
I can actually hear him now for some reason, by the way.
Okay, so you could hear it just then?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and kill my mic feed real quick.
The purported debt and destruction that the state's pension system is levying on its people. And, we see this as the, anti-worker lobby trying to gear up for an attack on the state's pension system. And we want to start ringing the alarm now so that people are not surprised. Legislative session. It'll be the first year of the quadrennium. They will be, legislators will be the most insulated from the voters that they will ever be. It'll be, next year, they will have just gotten elected. It'll be 4 years until they face another election. So it'll be the easy. So we need to be ready for this. And because I think.
Did you have something to say?
Oh, not necessarily, except that I kept hearing legislators talk about the quadrennium, and I just now figured out what it is, because he basically described it by implication, which is that so in Alabama we elect our governor and our legislature for 4-year terms, right? So in the U.S. Congress it's a little bit different because the Senate is elected every 6 years, and the House is members are elected every couple years, give or take, like special elections, special appointments, yada, 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 and then the president is just elected 4-year terms. But in Alabama, we elect them every 4 years, right? The governor and the state Senate and the state House and a bunch of other offices. So, I just figured out what that means.
So it's a cycle of 4 years, essentially?
Yep.
Okay, just wanted to pull it up for people on screen, but if that about sums it up, then that about sums it up. I apologize for the quality. I'm sharing it differently now. That's so weird. You're hearing me fine, but not the... maybe this. I share the here, and then I go here. That should be sharing. Which window are you sharing there? The quality might come through a little choppy, but it seems like this is the best we're gonna. This seems like this is the best we're gonna get in terms of audio. But yeah, to sum up what you've just heard, Valley Labor is talking about the fact that some of these politicians might be coming for your pensions. And it honestly just goes to show how little they care because of, well, it goes to show how little they care about you and instead care about their wallet or your wallet or both. Just a quick system check. Okay, Jacob, you had gone silent. I was just doing a quick system check, make sure you were still.
I was trying to interject, but I didn't get a good chance. So then every time I'm not talking, I mute myself to help with the quality. No, I think we should let him play for a few more minutes. But to clarify, I think he's talking particularly about the pensions for state workers, which probably includes most public school teachers. You see what I'm saying? But let him play it for a few more minutes, and maybe we can pull more out of it.
Let bro cook. Got you.
We talk about Reason's report. We wanted to. I wanted to talk a little bit, give folks a little bit of kind of a historical context because, I do not very. If you've listened to the show a long time, you know that I'm not in the prediction making business. I don't do that a lot, but I think that this is coming. That the pension of Alabama's workers has been attacked, and Adam has been around for some of these attacks. So I figured that it would make sense for Adam to talk to us about about what that's looked like in the past. So Adam, appreciate you taking the time to pre-tape this with me during the weekday.
He's even a short-haired dude with a beard. Tisk. Terrible.
An evening instead of eating dinner with the family. So, Adam, talk to us about what has happened in the fight over the state's pension system in the past, and like how has this been framed?
Sure. Well, let me just say that we could go way back and take many decades of fights and talk about those. I don't want to do that today, but the state pension system, it has a lot of money comparatively in Alabama. And so lawmakers are always going to be enticed by that. Other interests are always going to be enticed by that. Whenever you have a big pot of money, people want to put their hands in it. And so, for example, the AEA, the Alabama Education Association, really cut its teeth as a statewide force politically, fighting with Governor George Wallace back in the early 70s around defending the state pension system. But the pension, the teacher retirement system and the employer retirement system, which makes up the retirement system of Alabama, it is something that has really been a success story for the state. It has been pretty successful. It has kept a lot of people in their homes and, paying their bills. And it has been able to survive and thrive all this time, even as I know some other pension funds across the country have had troubles. But after the Great Recession back in 2008, in that time frame, things kind of took a turn. And what we saw in 2010, of course, was the Republican takeover of the state legislature. Shortly after that, so 2011, 2012, that time frame, the state pension system was a big topic of debate. And there were a series of reforms that were passed, ostensibly to save the pension system. And, what it amounted to, of course, was cuts for a lot of people. And that was in the form of employee contributions. So the teachers and custodians and other employees, they had to pay more out of their paycheck for the retirement system. And they also created a second tier, so tier 2 employees, which I believe was 2012, 2013, somewhere in that time frame when that took effect. So anyone hired in after that is on tier 2, which is a significantly lower benefit. You have to work longer and your benefit's smaller. And so that's been a real challenge for school districts and other public sector employers to try to recruit people because now the state pension system is just not as attractive.
Yeah, I just wanted to say,
State pension system. Sorry, you were saying?
I just wanted to say, like with the second tier thing. So my argument, right, for protecting federal workers and protecting state workers and protecting their benefits and paying them well, and sometimes even like paying them like very, very well, right? It is, like sometimes someone will nitpick, like, and it's like, oh look, the guy who runs NASA makes blah blah blah. I'm like, well, what would you expect the guy who runs NASA to make, dude? He's probably got like 12 PhDs and he's been working his whole life for this, right? But my thing is, right, people talk about running the government like a business. First of all, cringe. But second of all, what you should mean by that is that just like a business, you would want to attract the best people. So just like other parts of the country, much of Alabama is going through a teacher shortage, and we wonder why, because like after like 2012 and 2013, when I was in high school, apparently they had worse benefits, on top of everything else.
Alabama having a teacher shortage for worse benefits. With worse benefits, I wonder what possibly could be causing that. I need to get a soundboard so I could hit the X-Files theme song sound.
Right, and their fix to this is always going to be something like, hey, what if we loosened teacher certification requirements? I'm like, well, I guess I don't care, right? Like Ken Bauman talked about that. Not Ken Bauman. That's a different libertarian guy I know. But no, Ken McFeeters. Ken Bauman, if you're watching this or if you watch the link after the fact, hi. Hope you're having fun defending, helping kids with disabilities. Anyway, Ken McFeeters was like, we have a teacher shortage because of the bureaucracy. We need, I've been working with Montgomery and being a businessman for blah, blah, blah. And I'm not, my next door neighbor's not allowed to hire me. It's like, well, I mean, okay, but it's not like, right, it's not like we have a shortage of people getting education degrees. I know people with education degrees who are probably certified by now who don't have jobs, right? So there's something else that's a mismatch going on, which is that like the right people aren't in the right locations, and the people who might otherwise be in those locations don't have as much of an incentive, because look what's going on with education, right? You have right-wing states over politicizing everything. You have them making the pension worse. You have like new crazy attacks from all sorts of people on teaching and on public education as an institution. It's just like, I don't know if the first thing my mind jumps to is, hey, what if like random guys who have been running insurance companies, or like, random veterans. I mean, God bless the veterans, right? We had a bill to say that like if you're a veteran, you don't have to have teacher certification. It's like, but what good is that to the veterans if they're not a good match for that profession or that school, right? Like at a certain point, right? Just like taxes, just like a lot of regulations, no matter how inconvenient they are, or what impediments you think they put in the way, right? Certification exists for a reason. You know, we don't let people become lawyers or social workers or plumbers or a lot of things without a particular kind of education. Look,
I know how to do.
Why not at least require a bachelor's degree? And I'll let you speak, Adam. But here's my thing about that, right? If you don't at least have a bachelor's degree, that shows, all things being equal, that might say something about how much you value education. So if you're not willing to go and get a bachelor's degree in a subject, or even like an associate's degree in like the particular subject you're teaching or in education, then why should you be in the business of education? You know what I mean, Adam?
Yeah, like I have to get a expensive certification in order to be an IT guy. I know how to do the basics of IT already. I know how to make computer work already, but I need a $250 certification to be trusted to do so on a professional level.
Yeah, and
Like,
also
who do you think is running this broadcast?
Yeah, and it's not like you're like, it's not like we already didn't or don't have places where you can teach without certification, right? Charter schools, you know, controversially in Alabama, even though they receive public funds and are considered public schools in some ways, they don't have to require teacher certification. And private schools, obviously, they're not required to have certification. Some of them might prefer teachers to be certified or to have bachelor's or master's in education, right? But they're not required. So if you want to, if you're like, well, I don't have a certification, but I want to teach, it's like, fine, go to a private school or a charter school. I just don't think that loosening the standards is necessarily an ideal solution to the teacher shortage, if it's even a solution at all.
Yeah, like it. But by the way, fun fact: we've managed to carry this for 46 minutes. Props to us.
Yeah, between Jacob and Adam.
Yeah, we're the better Jacob and Adam.
Adam. It's basically there's two Jacobs and two Adams, and we've just been talking about the same things they've been talking about. It's trippy, dude.
We're the better ones. Is he? He's just now getting.
He's got a family emergency.
Yeah, he's just now getting in contact with us.
Gotcha. So what else did he indicate? He's able to come on, or is he just got to deal with that for the rest of the day?
He's got to follow up about scheduling, but
okay. I mean, do you want to keep going, Adam? Because I think we're doing fine.
What we'll do is we'll treat this as a little teaser, and because I came up with the idea to prime you guys on county government systems. So we'll do a quick little primer on that.
Yeah. So how about we start with something that neither of us necessarily know, which is like the origin of the word county in Anglo-Saxon systems. Want to look that up?
Yeah. I am just fixing system shit. You know, funny story. So a second ago, I shared my entire screen, right? I was wondering, why is the audio not showing? There's a neat little toggle that says share system audio, which was off at the time. So, origin of the word county. This is just going to throw up a Copilot result. Oxford English Dictionary. Is this serious? I was about to say, is this seriously paywalled?
I mean, you do have to buy dictionaries. I guess dictionary makers have to make money somehow, you know.
But it's got to the point where the friggin' dictionary is paywalled. Okay, so it is developed from the word French "calme." I'm not even going to try to pronounce that correctly because I am not very good at pronouncing French. Okay, so
I refuse to do it. France is demonic, right? I have Norman ancestors, but I disavow them. They were my imperialist ancestors, who took over the English, right? John Calvin was one of the good ones, but there's a reason that that Reformation happened in Geneva rather than in Paris. Spanish is definitely the superior Romance language. Don't mess with
yes, it
France.
is.
Refuse to pronounce French words correctly.
I don't do that baguette stuff. Okay, so historically, it's so saith here that historically counties have always been administrative areas. For most of the 20th century, local government in Great Britain was made up of two-tier counties, consisting of an upper-tier county council. That's how that reads. An upper-tier county council, and various low-tier city, borough, and district councils. Some counties, Yorkshire and Lincolnshire, for example, consisted of more than one county council. So back in the day, it was a top tier county council and lower tier city governments. Counties were not purely for administrative purposes, they were also ceremonial. Each county had a Lord Lieutenant. Fun little aside, there's a penguin in the Norwegian military with a similar name. And it is
penguin in the Norwegian military?
Yeah, it's a quick little interlude. One of the highest ranking officials in the Norwegian military is a penguin.
But are penguins even indigenous to Norway?
I'm not sure, but it's adorable.
Country. It's an Arctic country, isn't it? They might be.
Sir Nils Olav III is a king penguin and the official mascot of the Norwegian King's Guard.
Dude,
holding the honorary title of Major General.
Do you know who claims sovereignty over Antarctica?
Is it Norway?
No, it's Argentina. But he needs to form an alliance with the Antarctic penguins to push back against Argentinian aggression, dude.
Someone needs to make this right now. A picture of like a penguin raising its fist like a fascist dictator, or raising its flipper.
Oh, no, dude. Like what was that populist leader's name in Argentina? The one with the wife. Look it up. Like populist Argentina leader.
I know
whose wife was also famous.
This one guy. There was a movie in my Spanish class in my late college days.
I don't doubt it.
About this guy. Javier Gerardo Milei is the current one.
Javier, no, that's not who we're looking for. I'm looking for an iconic guy who like raised his fist and his wife would like go in parades and wave at people. He was like populist, like kind of left leaning, like back in the day.
How was it, a 20th century guy or?
Yes, it was a 20th century guy.
Okay, so in the 20th century, Juan Domingo Perón is one of them?
Yes, it's Juan Perón. Thank you. What would it look like if we tried to AI generate Juan Perón as a penguin raising his fist?
You want to open ChatGPT and try to find out?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's do it. I was talking to it the other day about to explain what the SCPCB file modding is. It's an old video game that I want to try to toy with. Let's call it of Juan Ramon. Juan Perón. Juan Perón. Former Argentinian president.
Oh,
As
it's
a
going to know who
penguin.
Juan Perón is, Adam.
Speaking before. True. Speaking before a loving crowd. Creating image. You're using a less powerful model until your limit resets in 7 minutes.
This is what happens when you give two guys with ADHD and autism a YouTube show unsupervised with no script.
Well, I mean, yeah, we make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails.
Peronista penguin, dude.
I love it. Te queremos, we love you. Perón y evita. Evitar means stop, I think.
What was
Viva
the word?
Perón. Perón y evita. I think this means. This might be me remembering wrong, but I thought evitar meant like cancel or something. It might be something else.
Yeah, I don't know that word per se.
But
fun fact
yeah,
for everyone: my phone settings, if you look at them, are actually in Spanish.
Oh yeah, my screen. Yeah, my screen I could control your microphone. My screen shows in Spanish micrófono del iPhone and predeterminado altavoz. This is the source of what you're hearing, and this is the source of what we hear out of you.
Voz means voice, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the history of. Let's narrow it down. History of counties in America.
It's jumping straight into the 20th century for some reason. I was trying to look for like back in the Anglo-Saxon and Anglo-Norman days before settlement of America.
Oh, okay. If you want to focus on that, we can focus on that. Because we don't do Britannia land. The history of U.S. counties. While the role of U.S. counties has remained significant in modern times, their boundaries have changed drastically over the years. But the majority of its... Okay, so Louisiana is one of the exceptions. It uses parishes. Parish is a fancy way of saying county.
Yeah, and then
So
and that mentions boroughs. Sorry. You know, the most famous example everyone can think of, like literally probably in the world of boroughs, is in New York City. I don't know what they used to be, but to my understanding today, they're basically like the equivalent of like huge like neighborhood associations. Does that make sense, Adam?
Yeah, like Manhattan is its own sub-city, for example.
Right. Yeah. So they're all under the control. They don't have a sheriff. They have one big police department and city services and everything. They may have sub boards in the boroughs that control different city services, but definitely they're all right. They're all under the governance of the New York City Council and the New York Mayor. The
Here
closest
are the
like equivalent
boroughs of New York City.
in Birmingham or Homewood or Montevallo is like neighborhood associations, you know, where it's like a designated area within within the polity, right, where there's just different. It's recognized as a different geographic location and community of interest within the city.
Now that's a cool little interlude. Anyway, the first county was apparently established in 1634, over 100 years before the first census was taken, and long before America gained independence. It was created in James City, Virginia. Now, for those that don't know, a lot of cities and places in America named like Maryland, Jamestown, named after English rulers. Why does Virginia have so many independent cities? I don't know. Why does it? Well, it's because the state's separation of counties and cities date back to the early 1700s. So because of Virginia's rural nature, it was hard to consolidate it was harder to consolidate.
Wait, but what do they mean by independent cities? Because all cities are independent, even if they are in some way within or subject to governance by counties. You see what I'm saying? So what do they mean by, like, what is an independent city in the context of Virginia government?
Let's see, because it looks like they elaborate by sending us to Encyclopedia Virginia. Virginia's 38
More like
incorporated
encyclopedia
cities.
for virgins, am I right?
I mean, it is called Virginia. I mean, it is called Virginia. It's like it's as lame as Wyoming in terms of names, but it's not as lame as Wyoming, if that makes sense. Sorry, the stream is over here, so I'm like looking over here, pretending to talk to a camera, which is right here. But yeah, there's like 12 people in Wyoming, so it's not as lame, but it is lame in terms of name. But yeah, this separation of Virginia's 38 incorporated cities are politically and administratively independent of the counties on which they share borders. So this is kind of sounding like a city-state system.
Except that city-state would mean like it would mean they like have national sovereignty, right? Like Rome. Or like there's certain city states today. Like what's the example I'm thinking of of the one in like South Asia? It's near like Singapore.
It might be Liechtenstein
or Myanmar.
Or Myanmar. It might be Myanmar. Liechtenstein is a region in a weird part of the world. It's some stretch of land that speaks German. The General Assembly first passed towns for commercial. This doesn't exactly elaborate. How are
so it sounds like it might be different from Alabama in the sense that in Alabama, right, every city has its own governing structure that's independent from the county, and the county has limited jurisdiction over like the county commission has limited jurisdiction over the city, right? The most powerful like county-wide institutions that have control over like what goes on in cities are the sheriff's department, which also has a long Anglo-Saxon tradition, and the DAs, which is it's like elected by county. Well, basically anything to do with the judiciary, the criminal, or like elected criminal justice officials, that's going to have control over cities. But the county commission, right, even though we elect even though everyone in a city gets to vote for a county commissioner, they what kind of laws the county commission can pass that has jurisdiction over cities is very limited, right? But every city is still considered to be part of a county, and you have to pay county taxes. So it sounds like that may be a little different.
Okay, so in other words, in me need explain caveman terms. In other words, some cities have own city functions that's specific to you city, but counties have some overarching supremacy.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Counties have a little bit of supremacy over the cities, even though they have limited jurisdiction over what goes on in the cities. Um, but every city is also considered part of the county, right? So there's a little more interplay. It sounds like there may be some cities in Virginia where they're just not considered part of that county at all. They're just like the city, and they border counties, right? They border probably rural areas that are part of the county and subject to their jurisdiction. But the areas inside the cities are not themselves part of the county. That sounds like what we're reading here. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Yeah, I was just a little
Now
confused there.
look up counties in Connecticut, because if you don't remember me telling you about this, Adam, this is an even more extreme example.
Connecticut has 8 counties. That's too many.
Okay, so more specifically, look up what power do counties have in Connecticut. Look that up.
Powers of the county in Connecticut. This will be a good way to segue to. That is kind of weird.
What is?
I'm reading up what looked like an official government website, and I'm just reading through real quick. You asked for why county governments were abolished in Connecticut. Huh? A description of their
Yep.
organization, what function the counties performed, what taxes, if any, the county imposed, and how many persons were employed when the county government was abolished. So these guys took out county governments entirely.
Yep. They're just cities, man. Everyone's in a little city.
I mean, if it works for them, it works for them. Hey, now that I think about it, let's see how counties here work.
The real problem with Connecticut, and this is a debate within the Democratic Party, which they're like even more of a blue state than Alabama is a red state, you know. So everything that matters is a debate within the Democratic Party up there. But there's a debate among liberals about the zoning laws, because everyone kind of agrees that like super strict zoning laws to restrict what you can do with housing is pretty crappy, right? And they tried to, while I was in Connecticut for a service year, they tried to pass a statewide law to make housing more affordable by dealing with the zoning laws. I understood some of the like environmental concerns and whatnot about it, and then like I did see like a conservative op-ed that was about how it like took away local control. Generally, as long as with the caveat that I do want it to at least be a state issue still, right? I'm not. They almost curbed local zoning ordinances through federal legislation, and I was uncomfortable with that. But I want state and local governments to liberalize their zoning laws with regard to with housing, not necessarily for businesses. I don't think we need vice and data centers on every corner, but with regard to housing, right? If you want to build affordable housing, you should be able to build affordable housing.
Yeah, you should be able to afford the fact that building affordable housing is even that much of an issue to where zoning laws make it that much of an issue just proves that in some ways government exists exclusively to create headaches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pulled up a list of counties in Alabama. This is a pretty big list. I'm going to include it in the description of this video.
The number, right? Say it with this kid, 6'7".
He said the thing. He said the thing. Yeah, we have...
Dad, stop, you're embarrassing me.
We will never stop. But yeah, we have... Let's see. The origin of mine is named after Governor Isaac Shelby of Kentucky, and the county seat is in Columbiana. What exactly is this a seat on a county commission, Jacob? What exactly is this?
The county seat is the same as a capital, right? So it's the city where the county government is located. So Jefferson County's county seat is Birmingham, of course. And so the county commission meets in Birmingham. The county school board meets in Birmingham. County school boards, right, are one of those things, by the way, that's exclusively a thing in rural areas, right? Because most cities, right? So cities can create their own, school boards, and most of the bigger or wealthier ones do. But otherwise, you're going to be in a county school board, but they're by design, they're separate things. So that's an example of like a county function, right? It's exclusive to the rural areas and the areas where the cities haven't set up their own services. Does that follow?
Yeah, so the rural areas are more reliant on a county school system. The
rural areas are exclusively reliant on a county system, right? Because this is one of the first examples of different jurisdictions that we become familiar with as kids, right? Because we're all zoned for different districts based on our location, and then we're all zoned to different so in Homewood, for example, right? Because we pay taxes to and live in the city of Homewood, we're all in school. We're all go to public schools controlled by the city of Homewood. When you're in elementary school, you're zoned for a specific school based on your neighborhood, right? There's a few different elementary schools, although we only have some cities have multiple middle schools or high schools. We don't. We just have one middle school and one high school, so everyone's zoned for the same middle school and high school. Now, if Vestavia, Mountain Brook, Birmingham are all the same way. If you go out into the county, right? If you go out into any of these unincorporated areas or any of these towns where they may have some aspects of city government, but they no longer have their own school system or never did, then that's when you'll be zoned for the Jefferson County schools. There's also something called, I think it's the baccalaureate school, where if you really have a problem with your city school for some reason, anyone in the county gets to go there, regardless of school district.
Okay, so it's like a backup school in a sense.
Right.
But yeah, I have.
But yeah, you know how school districts work, right, Adam?
I mean, kinda. I don't remember too much about it now.
Right, but for instance, right, did Helena had its own school system, right?
Yeah, we had Helena City Schools.
Yeah, so
Or
someone who didn't live in Helena and their parent wasn't like a teacher or something, they wouldn't have been allowed to go to Helena schools. There are some exceptions that the legislature has carved out now, where if you're in a really bad school, well, actually, I think that mostly goes for like the zoning in specific school districts thing. But yeah, basically, if you're unless you live in the city, or your parent is a teacher or administrator in the city schools, you don't get to go to those city schools, right? So someone from Hoover, if they wanted to go to Helena schools, they wouldn't have been allowed to, you know. And it's the legitimate argument for keeping things this separated is that, you know, it's based on who you pay taxes to.
well, I mean, on paper that sounds fair. If you pay taxes to Hoover, you go to Hoover. If you pay taxes to Helena, you go to Helena. But
Right.
I've seen a few exceptions here and there. But yeah, you're right. You're right. There are some exceptions carved out here and there. I've seen a few, but mostly, yeah, it's generally the same. A lot of Helena went to this. One of A lot of Helena students came from one of two very very large neighborhoods, Old Cahaba or Hillsborough, and yeah, anyone else had anyone else that needed to were kind of a special case. But before you is a basic primer on a structure of county government. So for legislature, we have a county commission acting as a legislative decision-making body. So they're like Congress's younger unsuccessful brother. All Alabama counties have between 3 and 9 commissioners. I don't know my numbers too good, but 9 it's greater than 5 or
I
is
don't know which counties have 9 commissioners. Um, Jefferson County has Jefferson County is the most populous county in the state, and we only have 5.
that is 5 commissioners for, let's see the population of Jefferson County. Or I'm going to keep this tab open for the sources. Uh, Population of Jefferson County. What, dude? It's
You
1,000 away from the bad number.
As of 2025.
Oh, this is saying as of 2026.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, see.
So yeah, some counties elect their commissioners at large, by the way, meaning, right, the district covers the whole county, right, instead of just having like districts based on different neighborhoods like Jefferson County does now, partly due to late 20th century court cases on race. But some counties have different districts, but they elect the commissioner at large. Or well, not the president of the commission at large. You know, but the ones who are just like entirely based on districts, the other commissioners just choose one of the other commissioners to be the president of the commission, kind of like the U.S. House does with their speaker, you know.
Like a bunch of old wise sages, just like, we must choose among us who shall lead us into a new beginning.
Yes, exactly.
It's a bunch of old dudes in hoods with beards.
No, they so in Jefferson County, it's the president is Jimmy Stevens. He's a Republican from a relatively rural district, and this last time, right, this year, they all voted for him unanimously. So they like each other pretty much, despite their like, party and background differences.
Yes, we went over the basics of that. I think we inadvertently covered this verbally before we read this. 16 counties may elect a chair to lead the commission. I apologize. Special guest Sherman is joining us. Come here, Sherman. I know you don't like to be picked up. Just a bit. Oh. I thought I was going to pick him up and immediately put him back down. But he is a special guest wanting attention. So 16 counties may elect a chair to lead the commission. We've seen that. Another 14.
Did you just say sheriff?
A chair.
Oh, okay.
Another 14 counties have placed their chair duties with the countywide elected probate judge. So a probate judge is kind of similar to a countywide chair. The chair's duties either rotate one of the commissioners, or one of the commissioners is elected by their peers to serve in this role. So, yeah, you mentioned that. They either rotate or are elected. The counties of Alabama are divided into judicial circuits. We'll expand on this as we go, but right now, on the surface primer will suffice. Okay, so what's the county do? Well, first you got your health departments. Each county has to establish a county board of health that is subject to supervision by a state board of health. Any two or more county boards of health may enter into an agreement to establish a health department, which I'm sure some of you have gone to a health department in, say, Columbiana or wherever the health department is in Jefferson County to get things like a birth certificate or birth control. I think a health department does that to some degree. I don't remember. But we also...
So if I may inform on that, about like county doctors' offices or like county hospitals, right?
Yeah.
So with birth control, I think that's what you'd be thinking of. Although I wouldn't be surprised if like county hospitals or like some county clinics in Alabama weren't even like allowed to give contraceptives because we're a conservative state. But I don't know if they dealt with birth control. That's how they would be dealing with it, is through the county administered hospitals and clinics. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. We also have senior care facilities. So the State Department on Aging, we have a Department on Aging, cooperates with counties and other local governments to provide senior services, which some of us would agree that some national politicians need to make use of. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We also have mental health facilities, which seems like exactly what you'd expect, minus the 1950s loony bins, like psychiatric facilities, things like that. But basically they establish health departments. They will run hospitals. A county can organize a public corporation to acquire, own, and operate a public hospital, which corporation and hospital should not be in the same sentence, but that would be dirty communism. We can't have that.
Right, but this is different from like the private corporations that we immediately think of, Adam. This is so sometimes, especially state and local governments establish corporations, which are really just like independent bodies we contract with to administer certain services. So, for instance, like the Tennessee Valley Authority up in North Alabama is like a federally created corporation, I think, to administer like the utility needs. Right, we had a few of them actually created by the federal government during the Depression. They passed or proposed a law to allow the Birmingham Jefferson County Transit Authority to establish or acquire certain corporations to help them administer things. So that's more what it is. It's kind of like the corporations we think of like McDonald's and Kmart and stuff, but it's kind of not. You see what I'm saying?
So it's a lot more. It's a lot more tightly monitored and regulated version of a corporation.
Yeah, it's created by the government for specific purposes.
I see. Now county electrical services, we all know that's a different story. County electrical services may contract with private providers, also with gas. So gas and electric may come from private providers.
By the way, sorry, got to add to the last one. Even more. So bring it even closer to home, right? With the Waterworks Board, right? It's become more and more state centralized and state controlled, right? To look more like an independent agency than a corporation. But originally, it was set up to be just like we talked with Keith. They were originally set up to be a corporation established by the city to administer the water needs. And we saw the upsides and downsides of that, just like we see the upsides and downsides of the model that they've adopted for it today. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I was basically just saying that water and sanitation, on the other hand, may be acquired by a public organization like the water board Jacob just mentioned. Let's see what else they do. They also handle zoning. County Board of Commissioners must appoint a County Board of Adjustments to exercise zoning authority and implement zoning ordinances, so zoning stuff. The County Board of Adjustments must allow for appeals to be heard in all parts impacted by board decisions within 15 days of any decisions. Why do I get the feeling this is never respected? All actions proceeding. Sorry, you were saying? Let's see. We also got your law enforcement. Some towns in the area have their own police department. Montevallo, where I live, has its own police department, but a neighbor, Wilton, just relies on county sheriffs. We also have jails, courthouses. All this is pretty run of the mill, just general public safety stuff. We also got a board of education, which the county commissioners will appoint a 5-member board of education, which it's just kind of general administrators, which are funded by the state legislature. Let's see who's where. So right now, Alabama employs about 19,700 government employees in counties as of 2017, actually. And a lot of that's in public safety. Not very much of that is in health or water, which not a lot of people working in health and water in Alabama. Oh, looks like Jacob escaped. Oh well. I'll stop sharing the screen, and I will continue to carry this myself, and I will carry this on myself. Fine, I'll do it myself. Just like that Thanos, Thanos, dude. You remember Thanos, dude? Like, for real, dude. You remember Thanos? Like, he, did stuff, dude? Anyway. Why am I rotated? What are you rotated? Anyway, let's finish this up ourselves. Time to finish this. Counties may levy a property tax of up to 0.5%. I'm a Zoomer, so I am not going to worry about any of this section, but I will include it for you in the in the description of this video. Alcohol and state taxes. Counties may impose a poll tax for the support of public schools. Wasn't that like a racism thing in the old days? Oh, you don't. Oh, you don't see any of this. Hold on. There we go. Now you do. Let me actually, before I continue, let me check to make sure that Jacob is at least okay before I finish this off myself. We'll be right back. Sorry about that. We had a quick little they're hearing me, but they're not hearing you. Crank the browser. Mute that. Maybe unmute that. Or maybe here. Here. Should be hearing you fine. Should be hearing you fine. That's for weird. That's for weird. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's kind of strange. Okay, Jacob, can you say something? Real quick? They're hearing you. They're not hearing me. Sorry, they're hearing me, but they're maybe I can do that. And I can do that. I can go over here. Speaking words. I'm speaking words. That is. Yeah. We don't go anywhere, everyone. Critical Dispatch 6 will be right back while I test this. Okay. So, control that. That's weird because I am hearing myself fine. Maybe try that. And then we'll try that. They're both through channel 4. Audio settings. That is weird. I should be able to hear this in just a sec. Okay. Preview this scene. Maybe I can preview. Handle audio via OBS. Bit. Jacob, talk to me real quick.
407 years ago.
Okay, we're
Your
getting you
mother.
now. That's weird. We're not even. The break music was muted this whole time. Okay. Talk to me one more time just to run a quick sound check.
Gibbity blue bop. Wubba lubba dub dub.
Welcome back, everybody. Where were we? We were reviewing property taxes and things like that. Now, if you're a Zoomer, none of this section will matter very much to you. None of these, because as John, it's like that one John Oliver segment. You remember that, Jacob, where he did a video, he did a piece on HOAs, and he did a separate piece on Chuck E. Cheese's, because he told the Zoomers in his audience, you will never own a home.
Well, it does matter more to like wealthy Zoomers and millennials more than it does to boomers, because it's actually very easy in Alabama to get a tax exemption for being over the age.
Cool. Sorry, I was just looking at a different source of the audio. Audio is still coming through fine. I'm just watching us live real quick.
I'm hearing an echo, but I don't know how much it's affecting the quality of the live feed.
We're the only ones hearing that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we're the only ones hearing that. Okay. So
yeah, I used to when I was married, I didn't own the house, but I do have experience with what property taxes look like. I know a bit about like homestead tax and everything. Honestly, this is not going to be a universally popular opinion, but Alabama's especially local property taxes tend to actually be way too low. We have relatively low property taxes per capita, and the problem with that is that it means that education is underfunded.
Oh yeah, definitely underfunded. That is weird. Maybe I can having a minor sound. We are having a minor sound issue. I'm just working on that right now. We have the source of the Berserk. And if I delete this one, and then I remove the... Jacob, keep talking, make sure...
Yeah, so I started LLC. Well, not started it, but I've reserved the name for the LLC. You do that with the Alabama Secretary of State's office, by the way. But yeah, it's going to be called The Academics Book. It's going to be a fiction bookstore. I'm going to start off selling mostly probably used books online, including some of my other stuff that I already have. Then I'm going to build relationships with buyers, and we're going to go from there. And eventually, I want the business model when I have employees to be consumer and employee. And I want to work as much as I can with other employee companies and unionized companies and like local designers and stuff.
Do you have like headphones plugged in? Jacob? Your audio is coming through a little weird. It's coming through like a little poppy. Okay. That's also a little weird. We can live with it. It's just coming through a little poppy. Let me see if I can tweak it on my end as we go.
So
Let's see. Now that we know what counties do, let's see how we can find out who. Let's see how we can find out who's where.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. Find your county government.
To find your county government,
you can use your official.
the Secretary of State's website.
The Secretary of State's website
features a
lookup for county government, which will be on your screen right now.
I
think I
removed screen
sharing.
That
might be. What if I mute this one?
And
maybe that'll help.
So on your screen,
will be a county official lookup,
which will be
featured in the description of this video as well. So don't panic.
But for
a quick overview, the counting idea originated in
like a lot of things
that surround our history. It originated from England. Counties used to be two-tier back in the day, but right now they consist of. I already lost that resource. They consist of a multi-tiered government system, which not everyone sticks to, but granted, not everyone has to. That should about cover a basic county primer. You should. Jacob, was there anything you wanted to add on, or that?
Not necessarily. But we could round out this video by, have you ever watched the Shelby County Commission before?
I have not. Let's.
Neither have I. Only really the Jefferson County. So we could we could pick a random spot in the latest Shelby County Commission meeting, and we could react to it.
Yeah.
See what we can do with that.
Yeah. Let's work with that. Shelby County Commission meeting.
Right now they just have
us on screen.
But yeah, I'm gonna pull up a local meeting,
or I'm gonna pull up see if I can find like a record of meetings. They have it on the.
Yeah, here it is. So yeah.
Here it is. So yeah.
Generally speaking, to sum up counties
of what we learned so far.
Each one in Alabama.
Each one in Alabama is run by a board of commissioners. It's about 5 to 9 people.
The head of each commission
is either one of two things. It's either rotated or elected in by the rest of them. Like I mentioned, the old group of wise sages, like the Greybeards from Skyrim.
They all convene
and they all drag and shout
at a
commissioner of their choice. And if that commissioner survives the wrath of the Greybeards,
then they
are the next county commission chief.
Each county
can run things like hospitals, public safety.
Or Adam, like I mentioned, and if that resource didn't mention this, I don't know why, but like I mentioned, there are some counties that elect the county commissioner, the county commission president at large.
So like in a mass vote, in other words.
Right. Yeah, the same way that like the governor is elected at large by the state, or the president is elected at large by the country.
Awesome. Well, I can't really find anything on the Shelby County Board of Commissioners has just the closest relevant video I could find is on meeting their commissioner.
Actually, I have a better idea. Right, and you're gonna have to trust me on this. I'm gonna type it in a message. And can anyone else see these messages, or just us?
These messages, to my knowledge,
right now,
it's just you and me seeing them.
Okay, I'm gonna type it in
It's
a
just you and me
message.
seeing them.
Right, I'm gonna type it in a message. You're gonna look it up, and just trust me on this.
okay.
And then when you find it, we're gonna react to it.
I need to get a soundboard
for these streams so I can.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, good lord.
Y'all are in for a treat.
Oh, y'all are in for a treat.
Because
Because
I have
got
to see this. But let's see.
So
For
Yeah, y'all are about to
For
see
official
exactly
context.
how petty local government can get.
So for official context,
we're
we're about to see a video.
about to see a video on Randall Woodfin.
Randall Woodfin.
Randall Woodfin is the current mayor of Birmingham, Alabama.
Now, he
apparently had
quite a specific
remark
that
we would like to see, that I would very much like to see. If anybody's watching Critical Dispatch 6 with children, first question, why?
Secondly,
remove them from this room at this time.
It's
asking me to disable an ad blocker, which I will not do. Birmingham mayor. Let's see when this is dated.
Oh, this is
recent. That's beautiful.
Birmingham
Mayor Randall Woodfin took to social media yesterday to defend himself and to assail the integrity of a longtime political foe and county commissioner after a recorded heated exchange between them yesterday. Woodfin, in a Facebook post Tuesday, addressed a crude remark he made on a call with Jefferson County. The heated exchange from October was recorded and
everybody
wants to know about two titties.
If you recently got into a car or truck accident, you need smart decisions to ensure you get the biggest payout possible.
Apparently,
First,
my
you need a lawyer.
Ad blocker was on.
You shouldn't contact a law firm just because you've seen or heard some catchy advertisement or social media post. Contact the law firm that actually puts your money where it belongs, in your pocket, not theirs. Having the
Doing
right
a good job
and the right
blocking
attorney shouldn't
ads.
charge you a high percentage fee
With special
to pay their
guest,
ad bills.
Lilith.
At More to You Law, we stand behind our founding principle. We charge you less and give you more. To put it in perspective, we just helped a
Now run along, you little scamp.
$1,100,000 trucking settlement, but we didn't charge them 45% like those other lawyers would have. Instead, we only charged our client 25%, saving them $220,000 in attorney's fees and putting that extra money in their pocket instead of.
So, long story short, can you hear me, Adam?
Yes.
Or visit
Long story short,
to get
his
started on your case
explanation,
today.
and this is totally believable, is that he was referencing a comment that was made after he got elected mayor, where LaShonda was basically using a figure of language to say, I helped you out, so now you help me out. Right? Which that is cynical, but it's not surprising that she would say that. It looks worse on him that he would bring it up out of the blue after like calling her and like dogging her on it. But let's I'm guessing you would like to react to like the original audio that was leaked of the incident, right?
Service management
and
built around
That, and I have a better idea.
actually flows.
Yeah.
We shall.
Refresh the
There's
service demo today.
there's a written record.
So, if you want me to support her, I want you to know, like, this can be your share of people that I put her in a race, which is not true. But I will gladly get in a race if you're going to keep telling people that.
Oh, let me share. Let me screen share.
Oh, let me screen share with you.
Because this might, because we might
because
have gold
this
on our hands.
might because we might have gold on our hands.
Share system audio.
Share system
what you do.
audio.
Okay, it looks like.
Okay,
There it is, my screen sharing.
looks like there it is, my screen sharing.
That's weird. Audio's coming through twice.
Audio's
What if I
coming through
mute this
twice.
source and then turn this one off?